Hello there, everyone. Antojai here. So, a lot of people struggle with manifesting, and whoa, Blue Jay just flew right in front of my face. Blue Jay totem meaning? Go ahead, look it up online. A lot of people struggle with manifesting, and one of the major things about manifestation itself is your perception, right? And I'm always talking about perception. I'm always saying like, yo, change your perception and you're going to change the way reality ends up affecting you, right? So, when you're manifesting, the first thing you got to think about is space. Is there space between you and your manifest? Now, why should you consider that? Okay, well, first of all, space is tied to the third dimension. That means if you see any form of distance or any form of space between you and your manifest, you are already manifesting from a third dimensional perspective. So the first thing that you always have to conquer in forms of manifestation is understanding that space is not real, that space does not affect your manifestation, and that you need to transcend space itself so that you can open up the highest levels of your own alchemy. The second step to amplifying your manifestation after you've come to understand space is time. All right. So, how is time limiting and affecting your manifestation? Because at space, we understand that we're tapping into 3D distance, right? At 4D, we're understanding that time is what's really playing a factor. A lot of people struggle with time in their manifestations. People want something, but they don't want to be patient for it. They want something and they see that it's too far away. Both space and time end up playing a role in manifestation itself. Now, it doesn't matter what manifestation you're working with. If you're trying to manifest something within matter, it is always going to be affected by space and time. And those variables are going to be impacted by mind, okay? So everything in reality is mind. That's to say that anything that is in matter, anything mattered, is affected by your thoughts, with your thoughts are naturally in a disposition towards space and time. Okay, so your thoughts are naturally created from the human condition within space and time. That means your thoughts are somewhat always fluctuating between third dimension and fourth dimension. So when you're manifesting in general, you have to understand these two major constructions of reality. So when I start manifesting, the first thing I say is like, doesn't matter if it's a car, it is a new career change, it is more money, it is a lover, whatever. Is there space in between me and that objective? If there is, where I'm going to take away that space. That's the first thing I got to work on. Now, even though I work on space, I still may be affected by time, which is basically letting me hyper analyze on maybe not having it right in this moment, right? So from there, you step into the fifth dimension of manifesting, where in the fifth dimension of manifesting, everything it just is. If there is no space, if there is no time, then where is the manifestation itself? The manifestation obviously has to be here. When you hit fifth dimensional level of manifestation, you start understanding like the true power of multidimensionality, because there's a version of you that exists in another dimension that has already accomplished the goal that you seek to have present in your reality. Just because you are not experiencing it does not mean that it is not present. There are two different things that are playing an effect here. If everything is mind, all I have to do is detach myself from the hard set rules that are applied to everyone else's manifestation, the distance and the amount of time that it takes for something to get there. That's why when you're manifesting, you're told not to want something, because the moment you want something, it is not here, it is far away. All right. And then the moment that it's far away, you have to wait for it, and then you apply time into it. At fifth dimension, you understand, okay, it's already happened. It's already happening. So how do I align this present moment with that objective or those results in general? If you step one step further, okay, we understand dimensions as states of consciousness, and we understand them as states of existence and as places where you can go and visit, right? They're like platforms themselves. If you can understand that each platform is not actually like a linear platform, like when you think about walking up a ladder, right? Like each step that you make is getting you one level higher towards what you're looking for. If you stop looking at each dimension as a rung on that ladder, and you start looking at each dimension as a sphere, you're naturally forced to look at a component of your reality that does not work with you, right? So if reality is a sphere, your fifth dimensional aspect naturally is going to be spherical with another dimensional aspect of reality, okay? So this is where it gets really interesting. Your fifth dimensional aspect is connected to your second dimensional aspect. The moment that you choose to accept that the present moment of your manifestation is here, all you have to understand then is the second dimension, which is this all duality. So I go from manifesting something from the point of 3D in space, deleting space, stepping into 4D, deleting time, stepping into 5D, understanding that it's all happening right now. Why is it not in my present view? Which then the spherical view brings me to the second dimension and then tells me it has something to do with polarity. Once you understand that you're dealing with polarity, you ask yourself, what is it other than time, other than space, and other than the fact that it's happening right now that is not allowing me to polarically align with it? Pretty much the question of the day that comes there. Now, with each objective, it's always going to be based in your mind. That's the only place you have to look at. Like, why am I not experiencing more material abundance in general in my life, right? Why am I not doing that? What is the opposite polarity of not experiencing that? Well, it is experiencing it. Okay. So when I'm in this polarity of not experiencing the amount of money that I want, what are my focal points here? The fact that I'm constantly not generating that money? Is it the fact that I understand that things are going to be difficult when I start working with myself, right? Because you have this natural disposition towards the beliefs in your reality that you're constructing all the time. So if you've trained yourself to always stress out about money because money always has to be accounted for and used wisely, then you're always going to have like this disposition to stress out about money. So the opposite polarity would be like, I'm not stressing out about money, and you experience your reality at its highest quality, right? I had someone ask me earlier today, if I've never experienced having a lot of money, I don't have that in my mind, how do I know that what vibration I'm looking for? You feel that vibration, and you have to feel that vibration in a bunch of different ways, okay? And I gave her this exact meditation that I use, okay? This is exactly what I do all the time to achieve this exact result. I'll go on a walk. The moment that I'm going on a walk, I'll ask myself what my manifestation is, okay? So let's just say that you're trying to manifest, I don't know, $1 million, right? Let's say you're trying to manifest $1 million. You want to be a millionaire. Whatever it is that you want to put in that, we're just using a millionaire aspect right now. When you're on a walk, what is it like to be a millionaire on the walk, right? So first of all, if you're constantly stressing out about bills, being on a walk as a millionaire, you don't have to worry about your bills. Plain and simple, right? They're the last thing that's on your mind. What does that feel like, not having that stored in your body? Is it tension in your legs? Is it tension in your back? Is it tension in your mind? Is it tension towards the future, right? If you're still considering the future, then you're still considering time. When you manifest, you should never manifest with a time point because time is irrelevant. So when you manifest, you shouldn't be actually manifesting saying that by next year, I want to have this. By next year, I want to have this is saying that you're manifesting within time and within space. Therefore, your manifestation capability and output is bound to the third dimension. You're not manifesting outside of the third dimension in. You're trying to manifest from the in of the manifestation period of 3D outward to another reality. A lot of people fail to understand how tedious it is to manifest from within the third dimension outward into another dimension and back into the third dimension. That's what everyone essentially does all the time. If a person isn't even conscious of this, they're always manifesting to a higher power that hopefully is going to be gracious enough to acquiesce to their request, which still is stuck in 3D because you are a victim. You are not a controller of your reality. So when you're manifesting, you should be manifesting saying, my objective is I have $1 million. That's my manifest. And from that moment forward, the moment you put your mind on the fact that you are a millionaire, you start vibrating and feeling like a millionaire everywhere, everything that you do. And especially if you can make yourself feel like a millionaire in your most comfortable states, you're watching Netflix and you're like, man, I'm so grateful to be a millionaire. Watching Netflix as a millionaire, I don't even have to worry about anything. Like, this is gravy. I feel so great. And you embrace that and you actually own that, you start then vibrating or magnetizing that reality into your system. A lot of times people are like, I want this. Now, how do I get to that? Right? How do I work towards that? Instantaneously, the moment that you have to contemplate going towards something, regardless of how high your consciousness is, you've already downgraded the potential of your manifest. And one of my recent books that I've been writing, I talk a lot about black holes and I talk a lot about time. And I talk about how time can be bent in all these different perceptions when you recognize that there's a parallel universe right now where everyone grows up like a Benjamin Button type deal. Everyone's super old when they're born and they die super young with a young complexion. There's a version of time in another reality where everyone gains longevity if they're always stepping into time at the highest ratio possible. So if you understand that time itself is just an illusionary like blanket that kind of holds everything into place, it just holds a bunch of possibilities in place. And every time you create a new possibility, it gets stored in the fourth dimension so that you can kind of like grab it out of the pantry of the fourth dimension and create and have the experience in the third dimension. You start bending how manifestation works for you. That's why you're told so often, do not want anything, do not desire anything, do not try to manifest anything, because the moment that you want something, it's not here. Because everything is here. So the present moment is so much more than just saying like, oh yeah, it's here, it's in my head. It's literally saying like, it's here, all I have to do is feel it. I don't have to think that it's here. I don't have to convince myself that it's here. I just have to feel the vibration of it being here. That's it. If it's here right now, I just have to quantum jump, quantum shift myself to feeling that vibration perpetually. And you're only going to feel that perpetually if you practice all the time, everywhere, okay? There's been times where I've been having sex and I've been focusing on my manifestation, all right? I'm in it, enjoying the physical aspects of it, and I'm at the same time, I'm so glad I have this manifest. Oh my God, I can't believe I have this manifest right now, and I'm having sex right now, right? And I'm thinking like that. And in that moment, that's all I'm training my body to do. That's all I have to do. I just have to shift my mind, and matter has to shift accordingly. I'm sending you all my love.